Hey, what's up, everybody? Frederic Poag here. Looks like old Daddy Trump, the art of the deal himself, made a colossal, amazing, stupendous, historic trade deal with the EU. Man, he got him. Oh, he put him in full Nelson and got him to agree to a 15% baseline tariff from 10%. Wow. Very underwhelming, especially for all the problems he's created for American businesses and with the boycotts that will no doubt still be continuing on American goods in the EU. Now, let's just get one thing out of the way. This is not a trade deal. This is a framework for a trade deal. That's it. And what does the EU get out of it? Well, what we get out of it is Trump's dumbass has decided not to put 200% tariffs on pharmaceuticals coming from the EU, which is pretty much most of the pharmaceuticals that are made in the US. They come from other places, particularly the EU. So that's good news for us. Our drug prices are not going to surge any more than they have because let's not forget, he has cut the Medicaid expansion and Medicare with the big, beautiful murder bill. And because he got rid of Joe Biden's executive order, lowering the cost of insulin and certain drugs for seniors on Medicaid and Medicare, well, that's going to raise prices there too. But at least we don't have to deal with the 200% markup. Now, what did the EU apparently get out of this? Well, they went from a 10% tariff to a 15% tariff on all imports from the European Union. What that means is, well, we're going to have to pay that. You guessed it. So if you like French cheese or, French wine or really anything coming from the EU, instead of being 10%, it's now 15%, which we will pay. And then conversely, American goods, which I remind you are being boycotted over in the EU, are also going to have a 15% tariff on it. Yay. Now, here is one thing that's really important that the EU got. So they got a waiver for military equipment, which is going to be very important potentially to kind of shuffle that on over to the Ukraine. So that's kind of a way of the EU being able to supply Ukraine with American military equipment without Trump publicly going against his daddy Vladimir. So, yeah. So that might signal the fact that Trump is backing off, leaving NATO, and might be going back to more of a position of traditional imperial American foreign policy. But then again, he's a chaos agent, so who knows? Now, a lot of the damage has already been done because, again, the steel and aluminum tariffs, he's still keeping the 50% tariff on those because that affects Canada more than the EU. So he's still trying to stick a thumb in Canada's eye for whatever reason. But, well, they've got a framework. Even though the press is going to call it a trade deal, it's not a trade deal because Trump has not made a trade deal. Not yet, because those take years and they're very difficult and they are tough to negotiate. You don't just do that with a business trip to Scotland where you're playing golf and you can do it over lunch. It's not a real estate holding. But anyway, that's all I got for you. And as always, keep the faith, defend democracy. And if you don't like and subscribe, you won't see my face again. I'll catch you later.